C.S.E.C Mathematics Multiple Choice Answer Video. Welcome back, everyone. Congratulations to Raquel Natasha. You got the correct answer. You'll make sure and celebrate her. Thank you so much for participating. Now you have the problem that was presented that Raquel Natasha answered the correct answer, which was 8. Okay, so let's work this problem. So if John sold a total of 40 tickets in 5 days, and they are saying that the number of tickets he sold each day was 3 more than the previous day. They didn't tell us how much tickets he sold on the first day. So when we don't know something in maths, what do? We would use a letter to represent the unknown. So we can say let X represent the number of tickets sold on day 1. Okay, so this is day 1 tickets. Then we can continue. And for day 2, remember every day he sold 3 tickets more than the previous day. So if on day 1 he sold X amount of tickets, how many tickets do you think he sold on day 2? Well, remember X represents how much he sold on day 1, plus he sold 3 more. 3 more than he sold on day 1. So it will include what he sold on day 1 plus 3. Then they said it was 5 days in total, right? So we need to do this for 5 days. So on day 3, they said again he sold 3 tickets more than the previous day each day. So if he sold 3 plus, X plus 3 on the second day, how many tickets do you think he sold on the third day? X plus 3, which is the same amount as day 2, plus an additional 3. So technically he sold X plus 6, but we just doing this in the broken form to make sure you are understanding, right? Because understanding is essential. Let's go to day 4. On day 4, again, each day he sold 3 more than the previous day. So he just keeps adding 3. So he will have sold the same amount as day 3 plus an additional 3. Right? So this is the same amount as day 3, but another 3 needs to be added to it. And finally, that's what I mean. Day 5, I'll write up one below here. Day 5, he will have sold the amount that he sold on day 4. So that's X plus 3 plus 3. I'm doing it broken down first, and then we will, simplify the thing a little bit more. This is how much he sold on day 4, but he also sold 3 more, because each day he sold 3 more than he did the previous day. So since we have all this information, what do? Well, we can, before we actually make an equation to figure out what is the value of X, because the question wants us to solve how much tickets he sold on the third day, right? Before we solve that, we are going to simplify. Well, we can simplify this one, right? So this will actually be X plus 6, right? On day 4, he would have sold X plus 3, and 3 and 3 is 9. And on day 5, he would have sold X plus 12. So now we can form an equation. Why are we going to form an equation? Because we need to find X. We need to find X in order to find how many tickets he sold in total on day 3, on the third day, right? And they told us in the question that John sold 40 tickets. So he sold a total of 40 tickets. So since we know that he sold a total of 40 tickets in 5 days, we need to generate or create an equation that is equal to 40. So if he sold X tickets on day 1, okay, let me just put a line so you're not going to be confused here. I'll start the equation from here because it might be kind of long. So this is how much he sold on day 1. You have to think it as if you're dealing with numbers. If you're dealing with numbers, it would have, well, fully numbers, it would have been easier for a lot of you to do. So like say we knew that day 1 he sold 7, he would have said 7. Then let's say day 2 he sold 10, he would have said 7 at 10. But you're not seeing fully numbers, but you have to follow the same pattern as if you are dealing with numbers. So day 1 he sold X alone. We don't know what X is as yet. Day 2 he sold X plus 3. So you write down X plus 3. And day 3 he sold X plus 6. On day 4 he sold X plus 9. On day 5 he would have sold X plus 12. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to, move the 40 from on top there because it's not fitting. So I'll write it below here and I would erase it from right here. So now we have an equation. So we need to simplify this equation and find X. We need to find the value of X. So here's where some of your algebraic skills and your transposition skills need to come in. And if you're weak in those areas, you know what you have to do? You have to go and revise and practice. So we're gonna group the X's with the X's. You can do it like that if you want. So we could group the X's with the X's. So we have 1, 2, or we could add the X's right away to make it easier and do faster. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X's. There are 5 X's and there isn't an obvious number in front of the X's. So each X would represent 1. So it's 1x 5 times, right? So it's really 1x, 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 and 1x. So when you have to add 5 X's, that really has the number 1 that is there. It was not there initially, but you have to know when you don't see a number in front of a letter in maths, the number is considered to be 1, right? So you just add the coefficients. So you're adding 1, add 1, add 1, add 1. So you're going to get 5x. 5x. And then we will add the numbers. Okay, let's add the numbers, guys. So we have 3 add 6 is 9. 9 add 5 is 14. 14 add 12 is 26. Let me double check this to ensure that I did the correct thing. All right, let me check it here. 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 12. 26 is correct. So 5x plus 26, you see how the equation looking smaller and a little bit more familiar now, right? So this would have been a kind of algebraic question, right? Anytime you have unknowns, it's algebra. So now we need to transpose. Oh my, sorry about that. We need to transpose. What do I mean by transpose? We need to find x. In order to find x, we need to transpose. So there are 2 things that need to be removed from on the same side with the x in order for us to find x, which would be the positive 26 and the 5 that is attached to the x. Which one do we move first? I always say to them, you move anything that's been added or subtracted first. So you're removing the 26 first. That's easier to move than doing a multiplication or a division, right? Because the 5x means 5 multiplied by x. So if I have to move the 5 from the x, I'm going to have to divide. And you want to do that after you do any addition or subtraction. That should never be the first thing you're going to move. So we're going to move the positive 26. So how do we move a positive number? Think about bringing the number to 0. How do you bring positive 26 to 0? You do the reciprocal of the number, which is basically you're going to do the opposite sign of addition, which is subtraction. So you're going to have to subtract 26, not just on the left hand side of the equation here, but on both sides of the equation. Because an equation, it works like this: whatever information you have on one side is always on the other side. So if you just subtract 26 from one side, your equation becomes imbalanced and it would not be an equation anymore. It would be an inequality, and that's not what you want to do. So when you transpose it, whatever number you add or subtract or divide or whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same exact thing on the other side of the equation to maintain the balance and correctness of the equation. So we have now 5x and 26. Take away 26 is giving you what? 0, right? So that's going to be equal to 40 minus 26. This is looking kind of weird, but I hope that it's correct. 40 minus 26 is 14. This doesn't seem to right. We have 5x here. Okay, so we have to divide both sides by 5. We divide both sides by 5 because we need to remove the 5 from by the x. So you do the opposite of the sign that's obviously there. Divide both sides by 5 and simplify the number. I think something went wrong in the equation, so I'm going to have to check this out because I think it's supposed to get a full number. Let me see. 3 plus 6, 3, 6. 3 out 3 out 3 is 9. It's 12. So 12 out 9 out 6 out 3. Oh my gosh. How did I get 26? That's where I got the error, guys. I am so sorry. But I just added to my calculator. What? How did I get? I wrote the wrong thing here. My goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. So let me just fix that. I wrote the wrong thing here. Because I know something is wrong with that number. I just knew something was wrong. I don't have the answer in front of me, but I know something is wrong with it. So that means we would have gotten 30 here and not 26, right? So let me just fix that. 30 and not 26. Plus 30. And then we would have had to subtract 30. Right? So you all see, sometimes even teachers make errors. That's why it's important to double check. And I did double check, so I'm surprised I didn't realize I actually wrote the wrong number here. That's why when I added it, I got the same thing. I didn't pick up the error. But I was like, how I have a 5 cannot give you, when 14 divided by 5, you would not get a whole number. You're supposed to get a whole number. So I know something was off. So I checked it again and I realized the error. So I'm not going to edit the video. Why am I not going to edit the video? This is for students to know that it's important to double check your stuff, right? So I'll leave it right there because even I had to correct my mistake, right? So don't ever think that when you become so good at doing something that you're not going to make errors. We do make errors. So all you have to really do, let me make sure I write the correct thing, right? Here was 40. So we take away 30. Yes. Whenever you make an error, just correct it. Right? Just correct it. And I'm glad that I have been able to identify the error before I end the video. And then somebody messaged me telling me, Miss, you made an error. What? Okay, let's get back to this. So 40 take away 30 is 10. 40 take away 30 is 10, guys. So this looks like it now. Alright, finale. So we're dividing 5 on both sides because we need to get the x by itself. Why am I dividing by 5? Because 5x means 5 multiplied by x. So if I want to get the x by itself, I need to do the opposite of multiplication. 5x means 5 multiplied by x, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I need to cancel off the 5. And 5 into 5 would be 1. 5 into 5 would be 1. And 1 by x is 1x. 1x is the same as when we just had x alone. You remember that? And I said if you don't see a number in front of x is 1, so you don't have to put 1x, just put x. Right? And then 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 10 is 2. So the value of the letter x, let me put another color here, is going to be, x is, okay, I'm writing the equal sign here. It's kind of weird, but that's just the space I have, is 2. So x is 2. So now we know the value of x, and now we can tell the specifics. So for day 1, he would have sold 2 tickets. So x, because x is equal to 2 tickets. Day 2, he would have sold 2 plus 3 is 5 tickets. But they really want us to answer for day 3, so I'll stop there. So it would be 2 add 6 is 8. So Natasha, you did it so correct, and I'm proud of you. Okay, this video is so long. I'm going, guys. Bye. Thank you all for viewing. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and share so others can learn and have fun like you.